The movie opens up in a prison where a police officer named Green is preparing himself to deliver some money to one of the prisoners. Balam Balam is a high profile prisoner who's kept in a separate prison served by his personal guards and has access to luxurious facilities. Despite being in the prison, Balam is able to run his drug selling business alongside his human trafficking and weapon transport. Balam is staying in prison because he feels like it's the safest place where his enemies cannot attack him. In the next scene, new prisoners are brought to the prison, and it's announced that they'll be kept in the same building as Balam among the prisoners. There's an ex-officer, Jack, who's accused of killing a fellow officer on duty and robbing a bank officer. Green stops Jack before he can enter his assigned prison cell and gives him a couple of blows. He also berates him for killing an officer and mentions that he'll not be able to remain alive for long in the prison. The scene then flashes back to a week before when Jack and his fellow officers robbed a bank. Turns out that it was a plan to acquire enough evidence against Balam and the corrupt government officers who run the criminal business in jail after successfully obtaining the evidence from the bank lockers. Jack and his colleagues try to escape, but get caught by the other officers. Despite the crossfire, Jack's colleagues are killed while only Jack manages to escape and run inside a building with some officers pursuing him. When Jack is about to leave the building after fighting with some officers, he's confronted by another officer from behind who threatens to kill him. Just then, Jack reveals his face to the officer and jumps from the building along with him. He purposefully does this as he recognized the police officer who was involved in his wife's murder. The officer lands head first and dies instantly, while Jack miraculously survives the fall. Later, Jack leaves the evidence bag inside the apartment of a reporter named Trisha. He provides her with all the evidence about corruption and involvement of the government officials with Balam, and also asks her to report the case to the district attorney's office. Following this, the scene reverts back to the present, and Jack is being kept in a prison along with an inmate named Silva. Later, while having lunch, Balam's cousin Semyon approaches Jack and threatens him to provide them with the security money. Jack denies the officer, and when Semyon and his men try to attack him, he attacks them first, causing Semyon to get apprehended by the prison guards and thrown inside a solitary prison. In the next scene, Jack is taken to a secret prison where he's allowed to converse with Balam via security cameras. Balam warns Jack to not interfere in his business and also mentions that if he continues to do so, he will be gruesomely killed, like his wife.